close.
But traded it all if I gave it all.
So welcome back. Now my next guest is Brad Whitlow, and he is with Primary Residential Mortgage. Welcome to the show.
Hello, Carol. Thank you for having me.
Hi. So, listen, before you came on, I was talking to you a little bit about what you do, and I had seen the questions, obviously, beforehand, and, one of the things that we mentioned very much so is about short sales and this and that. Let's go talk about what you do and why you want to talk about this part of it, because I thought that was getting better. Go ahead.
Well, Carol, it's a huge thing that we're encountering all the time right now is that there is pent-up housing demand. There's a lot of folks that got caught up in the housing crash, that went through short sales, that went through foreclosures, and quite frankly, it's time for them to dip their toe in the water and see if it's the right time or if things can be right for them to buy again.
I think it's a great idea for people to dip their toe in the water, and I think it's important because a lot of people don't realize that they're in a better situation than they are. I have several people that I know that are like that, where they went, I can't even get this phone. I can't change from this phone company to another phone because my credit's no good. And then they say to them, you know what, your credit's not as bad as you thought. And they're like, because things have changed a little bit.
Well, precisely, and the consumer gets confused since there's so many different things out there, Credit Karma, all these different websites, and there's about 4 or more different platforms when they can get a credit score, but they really need to know what their residential mortgage credit score is. And the fact of the matter is, the way that the guidelines are set up, there is a seasoning period where once they have reached the seasoning period from a foreclosure or a short sale, then they are eligible again to purchase a home with a mortgage.
Wow. So what are the biggest challenges facing home buyers today?
Well, what we see most of the time is that there's a lack of down payment or a credit score that's a little below what the banks will allow. Now, we are a mortgage banker, so we don't have overlays. We sell our loans directly to Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, and so we are going to be able to let some loans go that the banks do not allow because they have overlays.
Okay, so that's kind of interesting. But you said that some of the problem is their down payment. Do you do free consultations with people? Because a lot of times people don't know what they need to do to get into it. Everybody's got to get pre-qualified now for whatever they do.
Yes, correct. The pre-qualification process is free, and a lot of people don't realize that there are a number of different sources for down payment. You can actually do a loan on your 401k. You can receive a gift from a family member, and those two are very common right now.
Wow, I wish I had that. No, I was only kidding.
Everybody needs the rich uncle, right?
Absolutely. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You do free consultations with everyone. We're going to open up the lines to everyone to call in because he's got a free home buying guide that he wants you to have, the things that you need to know before you even buy one. Our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's going to get one of those. You wanted them to go to your Facebook page. You're kind of pushing them there, which is Facebook Whitlow Team.
Yeah, Facebook. Just go to Facebook and put in Whitlow Team or Whitlow Loans.
Okay.
And go ahead and like our page, and you'll be able to stay up on all the different topics that I put out.
Okay. And again, his phone number, if you'd like to hear that, is 602-525-7344. And our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You are having a seminar that's coming up December 5th. It's a home buying seminar. What is that?
Free home buying seminar. The home buying process can be a little frustrating and a little challenging, mostly because it's unknown. So the home buying seminar is going to be there just to basically walk people through the process so that they know what to expect. It's obviously very important to work with a professional, but it's also important to know what's coming at you so that you're not confused at each turn.
Everybody should know what's coming at you.
Exactly.
Okay, so what are the most common reasons people are turned down by bank loans, bank mortgages, or for mortgages, I mean?
Well, right now we're encountering a lot of the people that were hit in the housing recession. So either the credit score is too low for the bank, or they don't have the down payment, or they don't have the long enough time wait from the short sale or the foreclosure. And so many of those we can get through on some of our programs. We have an FHA loan where we are able to do 3.5% down payment down to a 580 credit score. Most of the banks in town will not allow anything below a 620.
Wow. So that is a program that you have.
Yes, it is.
Is it strictly from your company?
Yes, it is. It's a primary residential mortgage loan program.
Okay. Can tell them what that is.
Well, that program is called FHA Choice, and essentially, just as I had indicated, if they are all the way from a 580 credit score to a 620, we can still do an FHA loan with a 3.5% down payment.
Is that the same thing as the down payment, same assessment assistance program?
No, good question. We're getting a lot of questions on down payment assistance programs these days. There's
What
a
is that?
couple of them. They're very popular. They're done through the Department of Housing, and basically it provides down payment assistance to those that qualify. Now, it's not for everybody. There are income limits and a lot of other parameters. You just need to make sure you're working with a loan officer that is actually licensed to do the home buyer, the down payment assistance programs. So they're available.
And are you?
I am, yes.
Okay, that's why I asked that.
Yeah, very popular program. Home buyer counseling is required to do that one. It's available on both conventional and FHA loans.
Okay, now their phone number direct, it is 602-525-7344. They do free consultations, and the application to do all of this, to get pre-qualified, is free to do. And he's also offering for everybody a free home buying guide. That there are things that you need to know before you even do that. So 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. What advice do you have for anybody that has lost a home through a short sale or foreclosure?
Well, that's a great question, and we get that a lot. Really, they need to know what their dates are. And when I say that, I mean a lot of people, subconscious comes into play, human nature, and
they forget they had that happen?
Right. It's been a long time. They're renting, and maybe they really don't want to rent. And I'll ask them, when did you have your short sale? And it gets fuzzy. And part of that was because it was such a confusing process to begin with. There was on the foreclosure, there were so many different stages. There was the trustee sale, the 90-day when you were asked to get out of the house, and you'll ask them, and they don't remember what year it was. So really the most important thing is kind of a fact-finding mission. And I'll work with customers over a period of 2 years if I have to say, look, when did it happen? How long do we have to wait, depending on what loan program we want to go on? And then we set a date in the calendar, and we have to get our ducks in a row. So it's about getting ready. Many times with these renters, getting ready 6 months before that lease ends to say, next time you don't renew the lease. Maybe it's time for you to buy. Maybe it's not. That's not for everybody. But if you have any thought process into thinking that you may want to buy, it's time to, as I say, dip the toe in the water.
And I want to repeat again that you are a different type of, you have a primary residential mortgage is a company that you actually can get loans put through that some others can't.
Yes, that's correct. We are a mortgage banker broker, and unlike some of the banks that are running everything through their retail channels, we have a lot of different ways where we can get loans done.
Again, that number is 602-525-7344. You can Facebook him at Whitlow Team or Loans. He does free consultations, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. What about the home rental market versus the buyer's market?
Well, that's a good question. It's interesting in that a lot of neighborhoods in Phoenix right now where people are renting, they might be able to buy the house across the street for the same or less than what they're paying in rent.
Right.
The other interesting point there with the difference between the rental and the purchase market right now is the rental market is very tight. And many neighborhoods, there's actually more homes for sale than there are for rent.
Okay, real quickly, because we have to go now, okay? So what is, for first-time home buyers, do they get overwhelmed? Do you have a process with them that you go through?
Well, yes, definitely. If a first-time home buyer gets a little confused, just reach out to us through Whitlow Teams on Facebook or give me a call, 602-525-7344. December 5th, we have a home buying seminar. It's a great way to get educated on the process.
His number is 602-525-7344, and you can call here and get his free home buying guide at 602-277-5369.